Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents part 73 of the OOTP 21 Perfect Team Series featuring the Universal Pioneers. I am Big Polly. I come to you this November 8th, 2020. And we start out today's action with 14,261 points in the Perfect Point Bank. I'm back in the Iron Leagues, Iron League 274, which probably explains why I'm doing so well. It's almost playoff time in this week/season year. So we will get to work with 14,000 points. So our team must have made the playoffs. And I have not looked at this all week, so I do not know what I do not know yet. So we'll see what we have. And we will buy cards appropriately. I have an all-diamond team, so there's not really a lot of room to upgrade. But you could always catch a good pull of players. And we won our division by 22 games, 99 and 63 in this league. Third in runs scored, fifth in runs against. ERA, we were fourth. Duke Snyder hit 33 homers for us. Ralph Kiner, even though he hit 224, he had 29. So good balance. You got the player with the least number of home runs on this team this year were Mike Piazza and Lindor. They each had 14. So that's not a bad effort. Pitching-wise, a little wanting, but we had Scherzer at 383, Strasburg at 379, and Randy Johnson at 433. Just want to take a look at Randy Johnson real fast and see how he did and how he has been doing for us. This year, he won 15 and 11. His WAR was 5.5. And over history, since we have had him, he has amassed 9,705 points on his own. Let's look at the achievements and trophies and see what we have done. We won a division. We haven't made the playoffs in 5 weeks, so that happens. And Randy Johnson just had this 2052 season, according to the way Perfect Team is run, we had a 16K game against against the Augusta Hitmen. So the plan is to pick up 4 gold cards, and then I want to get more. I'm going to get 2 bronze packs. So it's 4 gold packs and 2 bronze packs, and we're going to go through them all. So stand by, folks. See if we pick up anybody good, anybody that helps the team. At this point, not likely, but I think we have pretty much... You could always get somebody, but the odds that the team's not going to improve are not good. Here's the gold we get, which was Astudillo, catcher for the Twins. And that's your first 6. I don't think I saw Dan Winkler, but hey, that's how this works sometimes. They go buy cards. Okay, here's your next. This is a bronze, Stephen Wright. Here's your guaranteed bronze, Rafael Montero. Estrada of the Yankees. Here's a gold, Kirby Yates. So we'll have the idea of getting all the gold cards. Orlando Cabrera of the Montreal Expos before they moved to Washington, and Andy LaRoche, third baseman. The idea of getting 4 golds is you're going to get 1,000 out of all your gold, so you're going to get a better return of your investment doing it that way. Okay, pack number 3 of 6. This is another bronze pull. Jake Rogers. When people call him Mr. Rogers. Silver, Jake Odorizzi, who used to play for Tampa Bay. I'm hearing Blake Snell might want to be traded. DJ Stewart. Greg Allen. In a Cleveland uniform now with the Padres. And Albert Pujols might get a little value even though he's at the twilight of his years. 3 more packs to open. And this is a gold pack we're opening, so we're just down to the gold because we've already opened both of our bronzes. Ronan Quinn, here's the guaranteed gold. John D'Acquisto, who Chris Berman used to call the Count. Anthony Alford. Historical players go for a better value. Here's another gold. Logan Gilbert, future legend. And Kelvin Gutierrez. 2 more packs to open. Here we go. These should both be gold packs. Sosa. So we're going to get a good return here, because I think we've already had like at least four gold cards. So Trevor Bauer, who is going to be a free agent, a sought-after free agent this offseason. Jacob Nottingham. And another silver, not bad. Rich Hill, starter for the Twins. And here's our last pack to open. Another gold. Let's see if we can get a couple of golds here. Bacchus. Zavala. Keen Wong of San Francisco. Avellino. Here's the gold. David Price, who didn't play at all this year because he opted out because of all the COVID problems. And Franco of the Giants. We picked up a whole bunch of Giants. Silicon Valley will appreciate that. So we return. And now we have 36 players to get rid of. So we'll start, as I always start, with the starting pitching. We're going to have 3 golds to sell. We're going to have Trevor Bauer. Now, Bauer will get a good price, I would think, because he's a free agent. No, actually, no. We're just going to have to sell him for the minimum. 11, 12, he'll be gone in a day. Then we move David Price. I wonder if he had a dog when he played for the Rays named Astro. I wonder if Astro is still with us. 11, 12. I think at one point Astro might have had his own Twitter handle. Logan Gilbert we'll get rid of. That's another 1,000. At least. Oh, he's going for $44.98. So I will sell him at the minimum of $2,000 and see if anybody bites. Somebody will see this and say, "Hey, this guy's selling them for $2,000. Let's get it from here." If not, we'll just sell them at $1,000. Okay, so we got 2 silver pitchers to get rid of. Jake Odorizzi, who is going at $253. We'll put him up at $200. I always like to go double the minimum because that'll drive a bidding war to me. And Rich Hill. Didn't Hill at one point play for the Dodgers? Well, I could look it up. Okay, he's going at $121 minimum, $112. Will be the minimum price on him, and we would still get the $100. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, he played for the Dodgers at one point, and now he plays for the Twins. I was right. Paulie gets it right again. I'm kidding, folks. Franco, you're going to think I'm a narcissist or something, the way I talk sometimes. There's 9 for Franco. And finally, we get rid of this fellow. No, I don't want to find him in the auction house. I want to put him up for auction, and he's going at $39 minimum, so we'll put him up $35. So we go to our relievers, And this is another instance where we have a couple of gold relievers. We have Birdie, who we want to keep, but let's get rid of the Count, John D'Acquisto. And he's going for $19.99, so that's $2,000. We'll put him up at $1,800 and see if anybody bites on that. So my goal right now that we are in the off season of the real regular season, is to get rid of Kirby Yates, because Kirby Yates is an 85 and Birdie is 89. The goal is to get rid of these players as soon as possible that you have in your reserves. I don't play tournaments, so I don't need a whole bunch of players. Because I think tournaments are really, as you know, you got to get lucky to win a tournament. I mean, look at what baseball actually is. You have a bunch of games. You have a 162 game season, and you know, this year we had a 60 game season. We'll sell him at 10. And sample size is important. The best team in baseball is going to lose 60 times in a year, you know, or when COVID is not around. And of course, the Dodgers had a great year, and my congratulations to them, even though they knocked out my Rays. 34, so we'll put them up at 30. I always liked the Dodger organization there. I always thought they were classy. And they still are. They don't have to cheat to win, like Houston did a few years ago. So, Kyle McGowan with that Washington hat that I really, really like. Go for 8, and don't be late. Okay, so still got some irons to sell off here. That is 13. We'll put them up at 9. So when the best team loses 60 times, you know, you play a perfect team tournament, I mean, you gotta get lucky. You gotta get really, really lucky to win a tournament. Now, Wes Stock is a reliever, played on the 66 Kansas City A's. We're gonna sell him at 10, and maybe, you know, somebody will want him at 10 or 20 or 30, or, you know. Like I said, the goal right now is not to get the best price on the reserves that I'm selling, it's just to get rid of them. 8 for Dan Winkler, who always seems to keep showing up. I always say that perfect team on OOTP is kind of like Jim Rummy with baseball cards. You gotta get rid of the high value cards. Get a value for. It's like in Jim Rummy, you don't want to be holding cards that are 10 points, even if they are cards that could help you. You don't want to be holding them. So we have 5 catchers, and we have a duplicate Williams Astudillo, so we'll get rid of him. And he's going right now at $11.49, so $11.12 will be his initial price. In Jim Rummy, like I said, you even if you have, you know, a 9 of clubs, 10 of clubs, and you could get a jack and have a meld out of that, you know, if you're waiting forever to get like the 8 of clubs or the jack of clubs, you want to get rid of your high value cards, because if your opponent knocks or gets gin, then that doesn't help you. I always try to look for the sets. I try to look for like 3 6s, 3 8s, 4 9s, and so forth. You know, having a sequence in an index doesn't really help you if the index is high. So you always want to look for in gin, you know, as they say in poker, suited connectors, but you want your suited connectors to be low. Like in poker, you know, if you're playing Texas Hold'em, and you're suited, you know, if you're holding a high suited connector like a king, queen of diamonds, then you want to hang on to it. But in gin, it's totally opposite. You don't want cards high up in rank that are suited, because, if your opponent gets gin or if they knock, that leads to disaster. Okay, so we have kept our catcher. We'll have a bunch of first basemen to get rid of now. Bob Brenly will stay around, although Bob Brenly was more known as a catcher than anything else. 6. I love playing Jim Rummy on the phone. I have an app called Jim Rummy Stars, and that's a nice little game. And that's how I play Rummy. You want to get rid of high cards. So I'm giving you a good Jim Rummy strategy here, and we're doing OOTP. Albert Pujols. Now I wonder if he will have a higher value because he's a legend. Nope. He's just a 58 first baseman. Forget the fact that he's going to the Hall of Fame. He ain't worth anything here. Okay, 3 second basemen now. We want to keep Jeff Kent. 7 for Alcantara. And we still have 11 more players to get rid of. So we're almost done, folks. I thank you for your patience. I know this is repetitive. And 6 for Sosa. But the idea in OOTP Perfect Team is to keep your good cards and get rid of your bad ones. And you build a team that way. And that's why you got all diamond. It took me several months to get an all diamond team, but I finally got it. So the odds favor that when you get 10,000 points, or as I had today, 14,000 points, that it's not going to help you. And if you want to get perfect cards, the starting action on a perfect card is like 20,000. You're better off just trying to pull golds and pull. Andy LaRoche might get a little bit more action because 50. We'll put him up for 50. Because his minimum is 60, and if I took 10% off of that, it would be 54. I have yet this year to get a perfect card. It's harder. It seems to be harder to get perfect cards this year than it has been in any other. Of course, everybody's team's a little better in Perfect Team this year too. Avellino. And I'm sure it's a moneymaker for OOTP, who just got sold to a Korean company. And business is business. Business is always going to be business. 10 for, can I put them up at 9? No. 10, we'll go 9 on them. So we have Estrada to get rid of now. We're almost out of here. 7, we'll put them up at 6. And the problem with doing so well in the Iron League is I will probably get promoted back to Bronze, and that's where I've been getting killed. Alford is a 6. I love these cards where they have the uniform on of one team, but yet they play for another now. Greg Allen. With any luck, I want to keep this going to OOTP 22 next year. And my goal for this Perfect Team series is to get 100 parts in, which we might fall 100 different chapters. So this is like, for instance, part 73. My goal is to get to 100 different parts, but I don't see how I'm going to be able to get there between now and when OOTP is released. OOTP 22 is released, and I think that would be sometime in March. Mr. Quinn goes for 6. And DJ Stu goes for, well, he can't go for 30. He can't go for 32. We'll go put him up at 29. And that's that, folks. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. We just check the inactives, make sure I still don't have anybody left, and I don't think I do. So that's it. I will submit my team, although I don't think it has changed. And this has been Big Polly coming to you. We wish you well, no matter where you are and no matter when you see this. Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.